Dream catchers, business builders. All right. Well, I'm here with a few book recommendations for you. Of course, we need to be in the mindset of always learning. And there are a few books that can help us get to the edge. Now, when doing anything in life, if you have a coach or someone who's been there before, then it helps you overcome some of the problems that maybe they had. It helps you get over them and it helps you propel yourself further faster because you can learn from others. That's what a coach does. Thus, I know there's a lot of really great coaches here in our community and also in school. So that's a great thing. You can utilize the coaches, but also books can be a coaching tool as well. So I have three books for you. First of all, is actually my book that I wrote, one of them. I'm a double author. First, I did a book with some other authors called The Ultimate Hustler. That's a great book. And then, second, I did this book, Did That and Failed. And both of them are on my website, which is my name, MakedaBenjamin.com. Makeda Benjamin.com. So here's the first one. Did That and Failed: 7 Steps to Win in Life and Business. And this is a nice book. It is not very long, but it is packed with just really important tools in there about building a business from scratch, organizing yourself. It really does just have a lot of wonderful tips in there. And one of the things that I wanted to point out was here on page 54, where I say saying no is okay. So here I'll just read a little bit from it. It says, when we first start a business, if someone comes to us and asks us, hey, can you do this? If we can do it, we are tempted to say yes, we can, because we want our business to start making money. And hey, it's something we can do, so why not? But here is the problem that you're going to face. And I will just pretty much let you know. Here's the problem that you're going to face is that if you say yes, number one, it's not something that you love to do. It's not really something that your business offers, but you're accepting it just because you want the money. You're going to be annoyed that you're doing it because it's not something that your business does and you really don't want to do it. And then more than likely, the person's not going to be happy anyway. Because when you have people that ask you certain things that your business doesn't do, they may be one of those clients that they're very, very picky. It's going to take you longer than you want to spend doing it. And once again, it's not even something that you like doing. So it's going to take your time away from tending to the clients and the projects that you really would love working on. And this is something that we need to learn in our personal life too, because a lot of times we tell people yes all the time. Sure, I'll come help you move. Even though we may really not want to. And listen, of course, you got to be a good friend, a good family member. And if you really have the time and you can devote to that friend or family member, you can say yes. But honestly, listen, if you really, really don't want to, you just want to stay at home this time, let's say you're normally a very good friend, family member, you are there for them, but this time you just want to be at home or you just want to do something else, it's okay to say no. But we always feel bad. We feel like we're a bad person for saying no, but you're not a bad person. Your feelings are valid. You can choose to live your life how you want to. So it's okay to say no. And it's the same thing in business. In business and in our personal life, you need to have standards. So if it's really something that your business doesn't offer, say no. And if you know of someone else that does it, you can recommend them over there. And then maybe you can work out. You could get a commission or something, possibly. but just so you know. So that's one of the tips that I have in this book, Did That and Failed. The next book I want to recommend to you, and I'm not done reading these other two books, is Launch by Jeff Walker. So I'm reading this book, and this is a book about how to launch your business, and when you launch your business, how to already have sales in it. And it's really, really great. I'm going to be buying the audiobook because I love reading. I love reading in here, but I really want to get some of the knowledge a little bit quicker, and then I can refer back to the book. So I'm going to be getting the audiobook. But it's been really great so far, really enjoying it, and I'm really excited to see some of the other methods that I'm going to be learning in this book about how to launch a business and get those sales right away. And it's great for whether it's a product or a service-based business, either or. This is going to help you with that. And here's one thing that I love so far about the book. On page 42, it's talking about building your lists and getting contacts. So before your launch, you're kind of doing a pre-launch where you're gathering information, you're getting people's contact, you're feeling people out about your product or your service. So that's a little bit about it here. And one thing that I do want to point out is when you interact with people, it's either one of two things you're trying to get, which this lady that I know, who she's an author and a speaker, and I learned this from her. She says you either want to get coins or contacts. So pretty much you're either making a sale or you're getting some kind of contact information from the person, their email address or something. And this book talks about doing that, getting a person's contact information so that later on you can launch with them. You can launch your product or your service with them. And usually you want to offer something of value, something free to get them excited and to give you either their coins or their contact information. So think about that. What is it? What kind of little advice that your business can offer? Maybe in an ebook form, maybe in a video form, that you can offer people that's of value to them and that they will be willing to give you their email or their contact information in order to get. So consider getting this book, Launch. And even if you already have a business, you can always relaunch something else, relaunch a product, launch a webinar, anything. You can launch multiple times. So this is a book that will always be good to refer back to. So I have that one. And then of course, I joined school by learning about Alex Hormozi. And the funny thing is, I knew a little bit about him. I was in another business building workshop and they spoke about him. They mentioned about his $100 million leads book, and I listened to the audio for that, and that was my introduction to him. But otherwise I didn't really know that much about him. But an ad came up and he was doing this $100 million money models launch, and I went on there and it was great. And then that's where I learned about school, and I joined school through that. And I also was able to get this book too through that launch, and it's been great. I haven't gone through the whole thing yet either. I'm going through it. But here on page 84, he has something very interesting here, and it's called The Economist Play. And I thought this was so interesting, I wanted to share with you. And this is something similar that I actually heard about with Wendy's. With Wendy's, when they launched their burgers, right? They have the single burger, and then they have the double burger, and then they have the triple burger. And I heard that, let's see, I heard that, okay, they had the single burger, of course, all the time, and then they were launching the triple burger. But then when they launched the triple burger, people was like, oh, that is way too much meat, right? To go from one burger patty to three, people psychologically was like, oh, that is too much meat. But now to offer that middle one, the double stack, then that seemed more acceptable to people. Like, oh, okay, it's not as huge as that triple stack. I can just get that double stack. So they had more sales with the double stack. So even if you were thinking, I normally just get the single stack, when you look at the double stack, you're like, you know what? I feel like a double stack today. So that was a marketing and psychological ploy. And Hormozi mentioned something similar here too in the Economist play. He said that there was an Economist magazine and they wanted to start offering a digital download for people who might not want the print version of their magazine. So at first, they offered the digital, and then they offered a bundle with the digital and print. So just two options. And then they realized that their subscription for print plummeted. So what they did now is they offered three options. And this is what he mentions in the book, that in your business, you should always offer at least three options. So what they did is they offered, all right, you can have the digital option, or you can have the print option for $125, or you can get the digital and the print option for the same $125. So what he's saying is that it is a decoy. It's a decoy product. So offering the print only for $125 is a decoy, because for the third option, you get the digital and the print option for the same $125. So that option makes more sense. So it's also another psychological play. And he has a lot of different plays like that in this book. So if you haven't gotten this one either, you can check out his $100 million models, and you can check out his other books too, $100 million leads. So here are the 3 book recommendations. So go check them out if you like. And this is also on Amazon as well. But hey, if you buy it from my website, then you can get a signed copy. So that's kind of cool. So we have the Did That and Failed by me. We got Launch by Jeff Walker. And we have $100 Million Models by Alex Hormozi. I hope you love the book recommendations. And then please let me know what books you're loving and why. Thank you, Dream Builders. It's your dream. Live it. See you later.